An alcoholic.
Further
She can't
from your-
function
Law
without
enforcement will
alcohol.
handle that on their own. We do not need to discuss that here.
She
Please,
needs help. Okay.
that is
you
not
will be
something we can
helped
address
out.
today.
I'm letting the court know that she needs help, and you're
Okay,
denying
thank
her-
you, thank you, thank
You're
you.
denying her the help that she needs.
The court cannot do anything about that today.
You will be held accountable. You will be held accountable.
You got it, okay. All
You'll
right,
be
we're all set,
accountable.
thank you.
You'll be held accountable.
Welcome back to another wild day in the courtroom, where chaos doesn't just knock on the door, it barges right in. Today we're diving into the saga of Jeffrey Bloom, a defendant who has become something of a repeat character in this legal soap opera. Picture this: a man facing serious felony charges, a defense attorney desperately trying to keep things professional, and a judge who's seen enough of Jeff's antics to last a lifetime. But here's the kicker. This isn't your ordinary case about legal strategy and motions. Nope. This one has accusations of barbaric jail treatment, missing paperwork, sabotage by the prosecution, and a defendant who just can't stop talking himself into deeper trouble. And trust me, the judge has very little patience for it. So buckle up, because we're about to unpack the drama, the contradictions, and yes, the moments that make you wonder if Jeff is trying to win his case or accidentally set a new speedrun record for self-sabotage.
27 and 28, People versus Jeffrey Bloom, 21344 FH, 22673 FH, and 22675 FC.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Amy Reiser, appearing on behalf of the people.
Good afternoon. On behalf of Jeff Bloom. Jeff, would you state your name for the record, please?
Jeffrey Bloom.
Good
Judge,
afternoon.
Judge, you set this hearing in part to see how Jeff and I were getting along. I will be quite frank with the court. Jeff and I have had our ups and downs. I just want to tell Jeff I still want to be his attorney. I still think he and I can work this matter out, including going to trial. And but again, though, I'll just leave it at that, and I'll let Jeff say what he wants to say.
Okay. So before we get to Mr. Bloom, Ms. Reiser, was there anything you wanted to put on the record?
No, Your Honor, we had some further investigation that was requested while I was on medical leave. And the first attempt at that further investigation was refused by the defendant, so it did not take place. The Sheriff's Department was professional and set that up again, and he was transported to the Michigan State Police Northville Post for that further investigation, and that has been done, and I provided that supplemental report to Mr. Killowell.
Can I see the court?
So we've complied with the statutory obligation. I would just put that on the record.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I'm gonna
Okay.
just read it myself.
So anything further before I turn to Mr. Bloom on that subject, Mr. Killowald?
No, Your Honor, I received the results of that. I went and spoke with Jeff about that. He disagreed of what actually had happened, but nonetheless, I'd still like to remain his attorney on the three. If he's got a VOP, one matter of resisting the police officer.
Here's where the chess pieces start moving. The prosecutor, Amy Reiser, makes her formal appearance, calm and professional. Meanwhile, Jeff's attorney is trying to convince the court that despite ups and downs, he still wants to stick with the case. Sounds noble, right? Except Jeff's reputation for clashing with his own lawyers is practically legendary at this point. It sets up a question that's central to this whole hearing. Is Jeff genuinely being failed by his attorney, or is he sabotaging himself because no lawyer can meet his impossible expectations? Viewers, what do you think, loyal attorney, or just another pawn Jeff's about to push off the board?
It's his turn to talk now.
Okay. Mr. Bloom, good afternoon. What
Good
would you
afternoon.
like me to know?
Your Honor, I would really like to just have like 5 minutes to place some things on the record before or do I just talk about Mr. Killowald? Can I place a few things on the record?
Well, the thing is, I'm not sure what you're going to say. I'm not sure if it's advisable for you to say them. If you restrict what you're about to say to the subject of your representation, then that would be better. So you may proceed.
Yes, ma'am. I just want to say it first. I've made Mr. Killowald aware of barbaric treatment here at the jail. As you see, I'm in handcuffs, Your Honor. I have been subjected lately to sleep deprivation. They have started closing all the doors, these 3 doors outside of my cell in Max area. I haven't slept more than a half hour at a time for over a month. Okay, Your Honor. So my thoughts are a little scattered, and I'm trying to be articulate and let you know that I don't think I'm going to be able to continue with Mr. Kilowald.
And here we go. The floor is Jeff's, and anyone who's watched these hearings before knows exactly what that means. Buckle up for a marathon rant. Jeff starts by talking about mistreatment in jail, being denied sleep, doors slamming, and even claims of stolen paperwork. Now, on one hand, defendants do have the right to raise concerns about their treatment. But the danger here is obvious. Jeff is mixing real grievances with conspiracy-level accusations, and in front of a judge who's just trying to keep this case on track. It's like watching someone dig a hole. You're not sure if they're building a foundation or burying themselves alive.
So we don't have any further confusion. Anyway, Your Honor, when, back on, they stole all my paperwork. I made Mr. Bob aware of this, that on June 6th, Lieutenant Arnett, I was made aware, had 12 emails with Miss Reiser, discussing me and my health and all kinds of stuff. One of Arnett's staff told me this, and there was an incident on November 6th where Miss Reiser and Lieutenant Arnett, who are both officers of the court, correct? They deliberately misled. This is Villegas versus Metro Government of Nashville. Okay, I would like to cite this on the record. These officers of the court deliberately misled Judge Simpson and made statements with reckless disregard for the truth, Your Honor, that placed me in a ITR 7 cell where they put me in a suicide gown. They put the tablet outside the food slot.
Arrived at 502 by Boston's Way.
I angled my patrol vehicle towards the porch of 5025 Boston's Way, apartment 81, which activated my body camera and infrared video. I started approaching, and I noticed
by probable cause the offenses.
But I have to give it to Mr. Bob. He did file a motion for an in-person preliminary, okay? Ms. Reiser didn't want that. I've figured it out now that they've taken my property again. Ms. Reiser didn't want me to hear the testimony, and ITR 7 audio and video that I have seen here at the jail will show you clearly I wasn't able to hear said testimony. I asked Mr. Kilowald to please file a motion because of misconducts to remand me back to preliminary examination, okay? He refused that. I've asked him since December to do that. Then I asked him, well, Mr. Kilowald, if you won't do that, will you have an evidentiary hearing before you, Your Honor? Because I trust your judgment with the evidence of Ms. Reiser and the evidence that I have. They say a picture is worth 1,000 words, right? So a video must be worth 10,000 words, correct? Now, the pictures that I have are 11 hours after the supposed incident. I'm not going to give everything away. I just want you to know this one thing. I have photos and videos of Tiffany, a supposed victim in this case.
Notice what just happened. Jeff was explicitly warned not to talk about his actual case details, and yet, here he is, diving headfirst into it. Prosecutors love this, because every slip of the tongue is basically a free gift to their case. The irony? Jeff accuses others of sabotaging him, while he's handing ammunition straight to the people trying to convict him. It's courtroom self-destruction at its finest. And honestly, this is why judges keep their poker faces locked. Because if they reacted to every bad move defendants made like this, we'd be in a comedy sketch instead of a felony trial.
An evidentiary hearing and Mr. Killewald said, no, we're not going to have any of that. And when I asked Mr. Killewald, what have you done besides everything that I've asked you to do? You have given the prosecution a way out. Everything, Your Honor. I have told him, if you do this just like this, they will have no way out of these lies. He always gives them a way out, just like Mr. Thomas, Lieutenant Thomas Arnett. He covered for this man stealing my law work, Your Honor. He has every scrap of everything that I plan to call on my defense. He has every scrap of grievances and the documentation that a civil rights attorney told me to take of everything that goes on in this jail. Okay, he took all that. And Mr. Killewald refused to do anything. I asked Mr. Killewald to call the ACLU. He left a message with the ACLU saying that I'm the problem, is what I was made to understand. He throws me under the bus at every turn.
Jeff, just for the record,
now he wants to interrupt me and I'll be muted. Okay, go ahead, Bob.
Jeff, I'm sorry. I never threw you under the bus. So I called the ACLU. If that's how you feel, that's fine. But I never threw you under the bus.
Well, what about when I tell you to resign off this case multiple times for multiple months? Even before the preliminary, I asked you, I said, Bob, the only reason I'm keeping you is because you're aware of the history with me and Tiffany, where they're denying that there was ever a history. You're aware of it. Okay. You're aware of the domestic violence situation that happened on 7/11. I asked you to get that police report and maybe show that to Ms. Reiser and say what that police report says about Tiffany. You refused to take any of the evidence. And I told you this last time we visited, Your Honor. I have given Mr. Killewald 5 times the evidence, plus photo and video evidence I've made him aware of. And I said, look, you can take this to Ms. Reiser. And if she is about her oath to seek the truth and not just a conviction, she will have a lot of questions for the people that have accused me of these crimes, Your Honor. Your Honor, I'm aware that I've got 3 files in your courtroom and I've been in a lot of trouble. Okay, I understand that. But to accuse me of the things I'm being accused of, but you can look in there and see that that is the most disgusting, disrespectful thing you could ever say about me. When I think of something like that happening to somebody, I think of my mother. I think of somebody doing it to my mother. When I was in prison, I attacked people for those things. And I'm not.
This right here is the jaw drop moment. Jeff actually admits to violent behavior in the past, including assaults in prison. That's not the kind of character evidence you want floating around when you're trying to fight a new domestic violence charge. Remember, judges don't just weigh the evidence. They're also evaluating credibility and patterns of behavior. By proudly recounting his prison fights, Jeff isn't painting himself as a wrongfully accused man. He's basically reinforcing the prosecution's entire narrative. The contradiction here is stunning. He's asking for fairness while volunteering proof of his own volatility.
To the facts here, and let you know, Your Honor, I have been made for 8 months ever since Amy Reiser told those lies to Judge Simpson. I have been a level 1 prisoner. They deny me showers for 4 and 5 days at a time sometimes. And when I do get to take a shower, I'm in handcuffs like this, Your Honor. I can't even move. To me, Your Honor, cleanliness is next to godliness. And I think you probably feel the same. This is barbaric. I've been abused. I was assaulted by an Officer McKay at the hands of a Sergeant Burris. It's on video. There's no getting around it. The civil rights attorney that I have looking into this is from Bloomfield Hills, Your Honor. She's not buying any of this. And anyway, I don't think I can carry on with Mr. Killewald because the last thing he said to me several times when I told him he needed to file a motion to resign from my case, he said, if you fire me, you're going to get 30 years. And he'll wave like this. And he'll walk out. Now, I'm not going to say I've been an angel with Mr. Kilowald, because every officer here will tell you me and him have gone at it in that interview room, okay? But, Your Honor, when someone comes up here and this is a rest of my life situation and you smirk at me and you laugh at me when I'm being totally serious with you, and I ask you what kind of evidence he says he's ready for trial, and we haven't even gone over the transcripts. Not one page of the transcripts have been gone over. Anyway, Your Honor, excuse me, I don't mean to be emotional, but you know, I've been here 11 months for things that are despicable. And I'm worried about my mother. I haven't seen my mother in a year. If I get another attorney, Your Honor, can you make an evidentiary hearing? Can you?
If you get another attorney, what did you just say then after that?
Can you demand there be an evidentiary?
This is where Jeff goes completely off the rails. In one breath, he denies the accusations against him. In the very next, he brags about attacking other inmates for similar crimes. That's not just bad optics, it's courtroom suicide. Imagine trying to convince a jury you'd never commit violence against someone, and then proudly declaring that you've done exactly that before multiple times, and with zero regret. This is the stuff attorneys lose sleep over, because no amount of legal maneuvering can fix a client who insists on torching their own defense with a live microphone.
I cannot advocate for you. I can appoint other counsel, advocates for you, but I am not going to second guess your attorney's judgment on what should or should not go to hearing. If there were things that happened before Judge Simpson, you know, a motion has to be filed. They should have been taken up at that time before Judge Simpson. I'm not going to make any decisions other than who's going to represent you.
Can I intervene to that? What I said before. Mr. Kilowald, I asked him to file a motion for a remand to preliminary because of the blatant, provable, undeniable things that were said. Ms. Reiser told Judge Simpson, Arnett, let me reiterate, Lieutenant Thomas Arnett and Ms. Reiser told Judge Simpson to get it where I couldn't have an in-person preliminary for other reasons that I cannot prove, but ITR 7 video can. Okay. Anyway, Your Honor, the two of them told Judge Simpson that I was physically assaulting officers, that I was throwing urine and feces on staff and officers. And Your Honor, there isn't an officer here, one, that will ever say that I've been that kind of problem ever in this jail since 1982. Okay. That being said, Your Honor,